And to kick off the discussion, why don't each one of you give a quick overview about what your company do and how your company is contributing to the field of AI?
This is Jackie Chan, CTO of Realty AI. We are a multi-stack AI startup in Hong Kong. We help enterprises to build generative AI applications, and we also build Cantonese large language model.
I'm from Digital Realty, and one of the topics that we'll probably cover a little bit later, but essentially what I do is that we work with customers, and hopefully this is a very good meeting place for ecosystems, and you can coordinate with each other.
Thank you for coming. I think it's more like a chat discussion we're having here, so it's less informal. You guys keep drinking, just listen to what we're trying to tell you about Gen AI and all that, and have a lovely evening.
So first of all, maybe a first question to Jackie here next to me. So according to Console Connect, 76% of IT personnel felt pressure about to implement Gen AI. And based on your experience with your customer or your partners, how prepared do you feel the business is ready for this strategy?
A little bit about what we do. We run a global network as a service platform. Basically, we provide on-demand connectivity. So what we've been seeing for the past year, I guess, that there are more and more customers coming to us and asking for different cloud network solution. And what we can see behind the scene is that when people start adopting this copilot, from Azure, from AWS, from everywhere, where they need to rethink about how they connect this data together. Now, it could be compliance issue, it could be how visible the data are, it could be where the data are going. So essentially, basically what we see is that our counterpart, our customer basically have to revamp the entire network model. Instead of going on internet, they would need to find ways to bypass the internet, and then they have to transfer sensitive data to from one end to another. So yeah, that's what I've been seeing.
So anyway, so we're Digital Realty. If just a very, very quick introduction. So we are a data center operator. So we operate about 310 data centers around the world. And the key message that you want to remember today is that we're working very closely with Console Connect in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in many, many other markets that we will soon announce. So what we're doing together is that obviously we're trying to address a lot of, AI is something that a lot of people like to talk about as a buzzword, but what we are seeing a lot is that this is just infrastructure that lives in a building somewhere, and it could be in Hong Kong, it could be in Singapore, it could be anywhere else. But what we're trying to do is together with AI and obviously data centers and infrastructure and GPU, you need connectivity, you need a lot of data to resolve it.
So we have been doing AI for over 10 years, and we have been got in touch with generative AI since 2018. Okay, so we are kind of like pioneer in this field. So I can give you some numbers. Is that last year, at the beginning of last year, and lots of corporates, they start to get to know of ChatGPT, right? And then there are pioneers as well, early adopters, about 10%, and there are some decision makers. They are actually resistant to this new wave of generative AI. But then by the end of last year, right, we have also run a roundtable with some decision makers in Hong Kong. 90%, they are having internal proof of concept projects internally to try to explore how to adopt generative AI already. And as Jackie Kong said and Daniel said, they're testing the capabilities, and then they are also looking for how to deploy in production. Especially there are lots of regulation and compliance, how to handle sensitive data with all kinds of AI security or LLM security, right? So if you talk about pressure, they have some pressure, right? Because lots of companies, they will have IT team or data team, but they are not that familiar with generative AI. So that's the pressure, I would say.
What are the main challenge, I think from a network or infrastructures, that your client encounter when they implement the Gen AI solutions?
So one of the things that we're seeing in the data center space is actually AI is to me, no different than public cloud from 10 years ago. Okay, so it's a controversial thought. So when you just think back in 2009, 2012 or something, nobody wanted to adopt public cloud because, it's very, very, very dangerous. So it's the same thing that we're happening now. But look at how customers are adopting public cloud resources. They've gone hybrid. So they've gone some on-premise, some in the public cloud. So it's going to be the same for AI. There will be no different. And what we are seeing, at least from Digital Realty's perspective, is that we're seeing a lot of AI as a service providers coming up. So we've worked with a couple of them already, and I think they are publicly announceable, and then we should say it. So we're working with some US-based companies that the brand name is CallWeave. So that's one of them. So they are actually one of the first trailblazers in AI as a service providers, and we're also seeing a lot of AI as a service providers in Asia, in North Asia, in all the way down to Singapore. So that's what's going to happen. So as an enterprise, if you want to be able to consume these services, that ability will be true, hopefully through us and through together with Console Connect to be able to deliver that. So it'll be a hybrid AI infrastructure. That's our perspective at Digital Realty.
So I guess the challenge, one of the things we see is what Jackie said is cost. Now, building the AI model, you have to invest a lot of money. But the other thing that I think a lot of people are missing out is the egress charges. So you go to a cloud provider, you go to AWS, you go to Azure, and they welcome you, open arms, right? Build your language model there. But what they're missing out is when they start getting this data back out to their premises, the egress charge could be enormous. So I guess, we have end user here today, we have service provider here today. When you start seeing these egress charges hitting up like 10 and 20 and probably 30K, monthly costs in USD, then there where the challenge is. How you actually control the egress cost is one thing. The other thing what we see is about data sovereignty. So actually, I steal this idea from my friend here. A lot of these Copilot are running, in the AWS and Azure, and now, even though they are in like, let's say in the Hong Kong zone, but it doesn't necessarily mean that all the underlying infrastructure of this cloud is actually based out in Hong Kong. So, we have these high compliance industry like FSI, right? Can they actually have the data going out from Hong Kong? That's another question that we have to think about. Now, even though if they can have the data going outside of Hong Kong, can they actually run proper internet? Is the SLA ready? Is the stability being delivered there? And I'll quote another example is about last Friday. Everybody knows about CrowdStrike. So over 8 million of laptop goes down. So what do? You call your service provider, try to spin off a service. It's nearly impossible nowadays with a traditional way of doing your business, and that's why I think what we have been hearing a lot from our partner, our customer, is that they are working out new ways where they can spin off in a certain moment where they would consume a certain service, and whereas they can turn it off when they actually don't need it. So I think the key challenge, or to overcome the key challenge, is that they are finding ways to have more flexibility within their infrastructure.
Thank you. So maybe let me try to summarize that. So to me, it seems like that we are going through the cloud journey again, starting with public, and then worry about the egress charge on the internet, and then move to a hybrid environment. It took us around 10 years to kind of move that, but I guess now with lesson learned is in 1 year, right? That people tested POC, oops, it doesn't work, full public, why don't I do the private? So I think that's kind of the lesson learned. This time we learn fast, not 10 years, just in 1 year. So that's just my conclusion here based on the free expert, what I'm listening. So anyway, another question. For business to ride on the AI wave, what are the impact of changes is needed from their IT infrastructure?
So basically, I think the wave is, we actually experience the wave as well as a company. So internally, we are adopting AI whether it's as simple as a chatbot, as simple as how we actually enhance our product and customer services. And I think the key to basically to embrace, I would say, the AI wave is to basically talk to the expert here. Again, I have to say Jackie here is very, very knowledgeable. So go and have a chat with him.
Being digital realty, we talk about speeds and feeds and power and stuff like that. So I'll just want to say one thing. So AI infrastructure uses a lot of power. Right? Agree, Jackie?
Agree.
Very power,
Totally
a
agree.
lot of power. And then if you're an enterprise company that has sustainability initiatives, that's a bad thing, right? So that's one of those things that those are the challenges, right? And how we can, at Digital Realty, I'm not going to go into the whole message. Please come talk to us. We'll try to address it. Okay, but that's about speeds and feeds, and it consumes a lot of power, and we can be very sustainable.
So one last question. So future about AI. Can you share your vision of, say, in the future, what will AI looks like and how's it impact the business operation?
Okay, sure. The first thing is we can see large language model will come to being a commodity, right? So 2 days ago, we can see Meta, they released the largest ever large language model, Llama 3.1, and its benchmark outperforms GPT-4o, so making proprietary model less important, right? So everybody can deploy your own large language model or even fine-tune or train your large language model. That's one impact we can see, like not just to business, but also to personal. The second thing we see is that in the upcoming 5 years, actually it's not just large language models, but we also talk about multimodal model, which means the model can see images, can see videos, can speak natively. So we also expect that such a model can be embodied to a humanoid robot. Okay, so it means that basically AI can help us really handle all the white collar and blue collar jobs. And for us, we are actually also working with Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, Robotic Institute, to move towards that goal. Yeah, that's the vision we are looking for.
The last bit. I was actually in Taipei last month, and something I want to share very importantly. So the entire event was all about AI because the CEO of NVIDIA was there like a celebrity, and I think with all these Hong Kong people in the room here, I think what we need to do as a community is to be more open about adopting AI. Talk to your partner. I think you'll be surprised. I mean, a lot of people see us as a commodity. A lot of people see, data center as a commodity. But everybody's evolving in the community. And I see in Singapore, they are building ecosystem, having this, AI community. They are doing a lot in Taipei, and I'm sure they're doing a lot in Europe and in US. I think it's about time where, as a Hong Kong person, as a Hong Kong hometown, we have to start getting into this race, and the only way we can be ahead of the game is to discuss and openly talk about it, and treat your partner as your as not as a vendor, as a partner. I mean, and in this way, we can actually become a lot faster and better when we actually embracing this AI journey together.